Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Boone here from EWPRO. Looking at the DXY on the daily, nothing's changed. I'm looking at this A B in here, and a C down. Just got to look on the lower time frames to see if there's any more upside. On the H4, we do have 5 down in here. We got that like W, X, Y, X2, that Z down. With the bullish divergence, we got a nice impulse up here. So next week, I'd be looking for the buy. You'd be looking for a correction, and then look for the buy on the H1. So we got a nice impulse up. You'd be looking for a correction for at least an A, B, C. For the targets, I'd be sort of looking at the 50 fib of this move here. So the 50 fib of this around here somewhere. I might be able to put that fib on. So this 50 fib here, that I'd be targeting that. So we get a correction in here. You wait for that correction, and you look for that target, that 50 fib. AU on the daily, I'm looking for a C up in here. We got an A, B, C in the B wave, and then I'm looking for this C up. It's looking rather bearish at the moment with that big spike down with the news on Friday. But on the H4, we do have those 5 up, so I'm looking for this larger correction, get an A, B, C down in here. Then if you get a buy set up, you can look for buys. At this stage, you would have missed the sell setup, more than likely, if you're not in the sell, because we got 3 down in here. So you'd have to wait for that wave 4 and then look to trade the wave 5 down if you're not already in up here somewhere. GU on the daily, you can see I'm looking for that C up. Again, this has already got the 5 up as well on the H4. You know, we were looking for this 5th wave up. We got that. So now, this is probably one of the better ones to trade. So what I'd be looking for is we got a nice impulse down. You wait for your correction in here, and then a sell set up to sell. So you're just sitting on the sideline waiting for that correction, and then you can start looking for the sells. EU, very similar to the others. You know, I'm looking for this C up on the daily. On the H4, we got the 5 up like most of the other major pairs. So we got W, X, Y, X2, the Z up. It just about got up to the first target, and it didn't get anywhere near the second target. But it's broken the top, so that's all it needs to do. Broken the top of wave Y. On the H1, you'd be looking at an X2. So we got a W, X, Y. You wait for that X2, and then look for that wave Z down. NU on the daily, I'm looking for more upside. I'm looking for this A, B, C. On the H4, like the others, we've got this wave Z up, so I'm looking for a retrace. So I'll be looking for some sort of an A a B wave, and then a C down in here. It pretty much goes for all of them back to the 50 fib, or it may even get back to the 61.8, and then I'd be looking for the upside. So really we'll be looking for that correction. We'll be trading that correction. Like the other ones I've gone over, you'll be waiting for a correction in here, and then you'll be looking for a sell. It may take 2 or 3 days to get this correction, so you have to be patient and wait for it before you look to sell. GY on the daily, we've got the 5 up. We've got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up with the bearish divergence. I'm only looking for sells, like I've mentioned many times before. That H4, we did have that bull hidden here. I think it did go and just break that top. It's starting to look rather corrective up here, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do get another one up. But at this stage, yeah, very risky to buy. Yeah, I'd be staying out of it unless you're going to look for the buy. I mean, it's not something I'd do. You got an impulse up, it's sort of a correction, and you look to just go and break that top. It's really just scalping. Very risky indeed. I would be staying out of it. UY, very similar to GY. We're right at the top of the market. We got that A. I'm looking at all this as a B, and then we get that C down. So I'm really only looking for sells. We got all this bearish divergence. Oh, sorry, we don't have bearish divergence. We're looking for a wave Z up or a wave 5 up. We got like 1, 2, 3. We're looking at an A, a B. We get a C down in here, filling in that time factor, and then if we get a buy set up, we look for that wave Z up. USD CAD. This is very difficult to trade. There's real no clear direction on the daily ever since we didn't get that wave Z up here. Looks like we're going to get another one up. I was looking at this like A, B, C in here, and then we got 3 down in here. I was looking for more upside, another one up. It's going, but very slowly. Me personally, I would just stay out of this pair. It's not even worth trading. It's extremely choppy. We got a high, lower high, lower high, and then a lower low, and then a higher high. It's very difficult to trade this. You're better off to stay out of this. USD Swiss franc. Like I've mentioned many times before, we got this nice impulse up. I'm waiting for a correction in here in the B wave, and then I'm looking for that C up. Looks like we're starting to get that correction. I do have quite a few fibs on here. I was doing live trading on this on Friday for the buy. So we got this like WXY. I'm looking for the X2 and then a Z down. We're looking to trade that X2 here yesterday, which turned out rather well. As you can see, we got a nice spike up in here. If you want to learn how to, exactly how I trade, I do live trades. And what I mean by live trades, I go through the market and look for the best trade, and then I put the entry on. Once we got the entry, I buy or sell that instrument, and I walk you through in live time how I manage that trade, get it to break even, etc., etc., where I'm going to take profit. So, yeah, if you want to learn exactly how I trade, by all means, join the group. But we got 3 down in here. I was looking for a little flat in here. But just go down to the M15. I was looking for this little flat just as an A, a B, and a C up in here. I was trading this C up. It's gone further than I thought. So yeah, I've still got half of this trade on. There's not much you can do now. You've pretty much missed the trade. The only real thing you could do is a more riskier trade and wait for a correction in here and look for a buy. But yeah. EG EG on excuse me, EG on the daily. We're starting to break these lows over here. We're starting to break all the lows, which is great. This is what we want. The further this goes down, the better. The lower this goes, the better the buy is going to be. I'm just waiting for a nice buy setup pretty much. Ideally, this does come down, break the low, and we get bullish divergence in here, and then we get a bullish setup, and then we can start to load up on the buys. Till that happens, yeah, I'd really stay out of it until we start to get buy setups. WTI, I'm looking at this A, an A, a B, and a C. This B wave here still may not be over. We still can get another one up in here. I don't really like if we do get that, but it is possible. Sort of got this. We had the 5 down. We had that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. Or we look at this as the larger correction, and we look at it a 1, A, B, C. It's giving a spike up in here. I don't think this is over. I dare say we get a bear hidden in here. Not actually getting a bear hidden, but I'd be very careful with the buy at this stage. We got a nice impulse down, and this is rather impulsive too. So you've got to wait to see where the correction is to trade that direction. If we get a bullish correction, well, then you can look for the buy. Whereas if we get like a 1, 2, and a 3 impulses, and then a correction, well, this will be a bearish correction, and we get another one down in here, and it turns into some sort of a flat, like we get an A, B, C, and then the A, B, C as some sort of a flat before we get the A, B, C. So we're really just waiting for the correction. If it gives a correction in here, bullish correction, we can look for a buy for an A, B, C there, and then more than likely it'll come down, break that low again. But we'll see. Yeah, other than that, yeah. Gold, we're waiting for this time factor up the top here on the daily. Hasn't quite given us that time factor yet, but it's getting close. So we got the 3 up, we got that 1, 2, 3. We're waiting for this wave 4, and then we get that wave 5 up. We're looking to trade that wave 5 up once we get this time factor. I was looking at this. We got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down in here. We got a correction from just breaking the top, and we're sort of getting 3 down in here now. So we are starting to get bullish divergence. I dare say we will get bullish divergence in here. I mean, it's too late to sell, if you're looking for the sell, you should be really already on it. But yeah, you have to wait for a correction, very similar to what I went over in WTI. We may get an impulse up in here, and then you get a bullish correction. Well, if you get that bullish correction, you can scalp it just for a C up, and then if you get a impulse down, and a correction, well, then you can sell it to go and break the low. Or it becomes more complex. Really, at this stage, you're waiting for a correction for downside. But if you get a buy set up, you can buy that, and you never know, it may take off. This may be the end of the flat on the H4. This flat here for that daily X2, so you can start to look for the buys, but I dare say we'll get a little correction in here and then another one down, and then if we get the buy set up, we'll look for the buy. Silver would be very similar. Silver, we got the 3 up. We're waiting for that time factor in the wave 4. We got that WXY. We're waiting for that time factor, and then we'll be looking for that wave Z up. We got a flat in here as well. We got this A, B, and a C in here for your flat. And then we've got this A, B. We're getting this C down. Still looking for more time factor here. This may turn even more complex because we already have the 5 up on the H4. So I'm looking for a 50 pip retrace in this correction. And, the 50 pip is here. So, this can be very choppy for a long time. And then we look for the buy. Bitcoin, we're looking for that buy for this wave Z. You should be already in this. If you're trading this wave Z up, you should already be in it. There's trades and that down here. But we're getting this 5 up in here. We're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're looking for this 5 up to the 123.6 as the first target and the 161.8 as your second target. Hasn't quite broken this ending point of wave Y yet, or wave 3, whichever way you look at it. H4, we still haven't got that wave 5 up, or the wave Z. Got this like WXY X2, and we're looking for this wave Z up. It may or may not have broken the top. Looks like it has actually broken the top, unless it's a double top. But either way, it looks like we've already got that wave Z up. It does look like it's just broken that top. So we have the 5 up now. You've got to be pretty careful. It's more of a sell. You'd be looking for, you got the impulse down, if you got a bullish setup in here, or you could trade it for a C up, or you wait for the correction and then, wait for your sell setup for an A, B, C, at least an A, B, C down. S&P 500, we're right at the top of the market here, and we've got all that bearish divergence on the daily. We're only looking for sells, like I've said for a very long time. On the daily, on the H4, we've got to the first target, that 123.6. The second target is at 161.8. We've got the 5 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. So now we're there's really no sell set up on it at this stage. You have to wait. We sort of got 5 up on the H1 as well. We got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up with bearish divergence. So for the sell, you really want a nice impulse down and a sell set up, and then you can start to look to sell. This may be your first opportunity to get a sell. So I'll be definitely keeping an eye on this one next week. AU200 on the daily. We've already got that C up on the daily. We got that A, B, C bounced off that 100 fib, and it's just hanging around that 100 fib. You know, this was our target, that 100 fib. Now it's giving a larger correction. I would be staying out of it. We're looking for a larger correction. I mean, I did mention that, you know, we did have a bull hidden here, you know, so more than likely this will go up and break that top. And that's pretty much what it's doing. You know, if you were going to trade it, you'd be looking at the H1 here, and you'd be waiting for a 1, 2, 3. You'd be waiting for a bull hidden in here for a wave 5, or this comes down, gives you a nice impulse down, and then you could look for a sell setup. So you're pretty much waiting for the correction. See what correction it gives you, trade in that direction. The FTSE, you know, it's got right up to that 161.8. So we have this like WX, very choppy wave Y. You'd be waiting for more than likely a very choppy X2, and then looking for that wave Z up. You're trading in a correction here. Sort of be looking for a correction similar size to this over here. So it's a time factor now, you know. More than likely it'll be very choppy. And lastly, the DAX. This one's gone as well. This was on the H4. We were looking for this C up. We got that A, B. This was just buy set up in here, if you remember, if you go back, and we were looking for that C up to that 100 pip. It gave another move down here, which had that bull hidden, and we're looking for that top to get broken. That's where it got up to that 100 pip, and now it's sort of consolidating up the top here. So I mean, it's probably not ready yet, but it's still looking very much bullish. So yeah, you'd be waiting for a buy. Excuse me. I'd be looking for another lower low here, giving me even more bullish divergence, and then going down onto the lower time frames and looking for that buy to go and break that top, basically. We sort of had that 1, 2, 3 here. This is a larger correction though. So yeah. But it's more bullish than anything. There really isn't a bullish setup on it. That's the problem. We did get a higher high here. You know, we got a higher high here, but it's very deep, this correction. So more than likely this will turn more complex. We've got an A wave here, you get a B in here, you get a C up there, and then you get an A, B, C, an A, B, C, before you get an A, B, C, and then you start to look for that buy, you know, to go and break the top. So, you know, yeah, it can take quite a while to get a buy set up on this. So I hope you enjoyed the weekly outlook. If you did, please share, like, and subscribe. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week.